2 days ago, I was listening to YouTube about the war in this bombed out city there, one of those small cities. This woman was, Ukrainian woman was crying, and how could God allow this? I've been praying, how could God allow this kind of suffering and doesn't he hear our prayers? And I get into that occasionally. Baba, how can you let this happen? How can you let this unadulterated evil come into the world, into there, all this suffering? And then that was on Tuesday. And then Wednesday morning, I woke up and I looked out my kitchen window and I could see my back garden. And this blue balloon had floated in to the garden, the exact color of the Ukrainian flag.
Oh, gosh.
And it wasn't, there's no yellow, but yellow green, I guess. And it just felt like a little message from Baba. Why did this balloon come in at that?
Wow.
Yeah, so this really touched me. This felt like a little message of encouragement from Baba. So that happened. And the other thing I want to share is David White. Anyone ever hear of him? He's a Anglo-Irish poet, bestseller poet in the United States. And so he wrote, shortly after the war started, he published this poem with this photo of this crazy table called, the poem is "There's No Table Long Enough," and I'll read it. One man's unspoken inner edge of darkness, unconfronted and untransformed, sitting far away in his own fear. Like someone looking through the wrong end of a child's telescope. Like someone sitting at the end of an absurdly lengthened table. Holds his intimate circle in fear of death and torture, threatens their families, poisons their lives along with his enemies. Sews everyone into the straitjacket of immobile fear, then carefully tailors a uniform of death for every single one of his bullied young men to wear. May we see then in this allegory, as we too in this time sit so far away, the simple way in individual life, no matter how imprisoned, transformed by generosity, saves so many lives in the future. May we take the time while we confront this fear now on the outside with necessary and courageous physical action to preempt any future evil by bringing every hidden edge into the light, by bringing our inner troubles into the conversation, where heads are allowed to lean close to one another at a table shortened to the point of mutual understanding. There is no table long enough to keep us from our own unspoken darkness, but thanks be to God and every power beyond us, there is no table long enough to hold the riches of darkness transformed, to hold the wine raised and the bread consumed, to hold every item of our shared bounty, brought from every field of our endeavor in a promised future that despite ourselves will always be destined to forgiveness. Okay, so let's start our half-hour meditations. We join our hearts together and send our prayers of love and concern to the heart of the Ukraine and to Russia too. So we'll begin with just getting comfortable in our seats, in our chair, sitting upright and alert, but also at ease. Opening up to receive. And just with an inner posture of letting go, not trying to make anything happen, not opposing anything. We'll start with being aware of our breath for a moment, just the gentle rise and fall of our breath, being with our own breath in an intimate way. Breath helping us to anchor our awareness into the present moment, starting to arrive here in the present. As we breathe, there's just a softening of our being, softening in our body. And allowing the rhythm of the breath to collect our attention, to be at ease. And picturing Mayor Baba's smile filling the whole sky above us, or the Buddhist smile. Smile of benevolence. And just breathing in the smile into our, first inside our heads, inside our face, letting the smile bring a little bit of a curve around the eyes, softening the brow, softening the eyes from the inside. Letting this smile come to the edges of the mouth, like the Buddha's inscrutable smile of deep peace and contentment. Letting the smile connect us to a spirit of friendliness, benevolence, kindness. Bring our awareness inside the shoulders, front and back. Letting the shoulders soften, any micro muscles there that want to soften on their own or let go, not forcing anything, but often just bringing our attention to places where there might be stiffness or tightness, or just a letting go that happens on its own. Smile, bringing in to the shoulders inside, this quality of presence. Just feeling from the inside a sense of aliveness. And down the length and volume of the arms from the inside to the hands. Just letting the hands soften from the inside, bringing awareness, the energy inside the hands and finger. If there's any tingling of aliveness that comes with the presence, letting the smile fill the hands. Continuing to breathe and just noticing how the breath wants to fill the whole body. The rhythm of the whole body just starts to ease into a gentle wave-like pattern, like small waves on a sea. Small, gentle waves. And again, with our breath, letting the belly soften even more. All the organs and spaces inside the pelvic region, filling with the smile. Just the letting go and letting go. Down the length and volume of the legs to the feet. Just feeling into the feet from the inside, bringing the awareness, space, openness, receptivity. Feeling a tingling, vibrating energy of aliveness there in your toes. Then widening the lens of awareness to include the whole body, so vibrating, alive. Feel the energy, feel the presence, feel his smile, his presence, glowing, alive. Bring awareness to the chest. If you want, you place your right hand on the upper chest, make the connection to the heart, and just let there be an openness in the chest. Starting to breathe in and out of the heart. Much more subtle breath, but it just happens naturally when we connect to the heart. Bring the smile into the heart. Filling the space with that energy. Not covering over anything that's there, but just making room for his presence. And just noting the mood in the heart, the felt sense, just being with that, whatever it is. And let's just start to go a bit deeper into the heart. And with the smile, let's start with the heart breath, bringing in the name of our beloved. It's Baba, Buddha, the Most High, the Great Spirit, Jesus, whatever your name is for the Most High. Just placing that name in the heart with the rhythm of the breath. Just going deeper, opening the heart even more, just continuing to open and open, and deeper and deeper. Into the deep heart. And there, inviting his physical presence into our hearts. Picture his being. Just being there with his presence in your deep heart, receiving, opening, drinking the love. The Sufis say all hearts are thirsty for this love. And that's true. And again, just noting the quality of presence as you be with your beloved, just noticing it, the light, the love, the felt sense in every part. And there, let's consciously connect to the hearts of everyone else in this prayer meditation for the Ukraine today, or anyone else who connects to this and the rest that wants to share, just connecting to the hearts. Again, picturing that vessel, the prayer vessel, whatever it is for you. Be to one string or a ship or a chalice, whatever, tree. You want to feel you made that connection, taking your time, staying with the presence, just starting to transmit quality of the beloved's love, compassion, mercy. Before we do, forgot to do our vocation. Again, just asking our beloved to hear our prayers, help us align with his will for whatever is happening in the world. Nothing happens without his will. And also hearing our prayers for suffering, what is happening there in Ukraine, all the people suffering, all the destruction, people in Russia also suffering. Just asking that his compassion, his mercy, his nazar stay on that country, in Ukraine, and the war zones. And when you're ready, just start to transmit that to the heart of the Ukraine, to the heart of Russia. Jane, prayer for peace. Peace and universal love is the essence of the gospel preached by all the enlightened ones. Know that violence is the root cause of all miseries in the world. Violence, in fact, is the knot of bondage. Quote, do not injure any living being. End of quote. This is the eternal, perennial, and unalterable way of spiritual life. A weapon, however powerful it may be, can always be superseded by a superior one. But no weapon can be superior to nonviolence and love. Reminds me of the Buddha, suppose the Buddha quote, do no harm and no harm will come to you. Do no harm and no harm will come to you. So we'll end today's prayers for Ukraine with this simple blessing. May we come home to the light, love, and aliveness that's our deep nature. May we live our lives from loving presence. May that loving presence ripple out in a way that brings peace and healing to our world. So just starting to return to yourself. Sending appreciation to all those who joined us in today's prayers, to all those who couldn't join, to others in the world who share their deep, deep concern for what's happening in the Ukraine. All those sending out their prayers. Appreciation to our beloved Baba. For hearing our prayers, sending his compassion, his mercy that always flows. Just opening our eyes, just sitting for a moment with ourselves, just noticing the quality of presence and your being in your heart. There we go.
Joe, I wanted to tell you that yesterday on NPR, they did a segment on Daka Braka. They're touring and they interviewed the leader and they
Really?
gave a
Oh,
history. It was great, and they played a few songs. I can't remember which show, but it was maybe, I don't know, good 10, 15 minutes.
really?